Hey friends, hope the morning's treating you well. Hope you got your coffee. I got mine. It's really cold outside, so I came in here to the dining room table and figured I would talk to you guys in here. I posted a video a couple weeks ago telling a Dickey bet story of mine, and people seem to really enjoy it. If you didn't hear it, the really quick version is I was playing a blues jam in Indianapolis back in 1988. Dickey Betts was playing down the street. He came in while I was on stage, just playing clams left and right. I was playing terribly, I'm sure, and had a big entourage with him, and it looked like a biker gang. They came in and they all walked right up on stage and put on instruments and started playing. And I just kind of like went back a little bit and tried to blend in and play quietly. And it was fun. It was great. And he was nice to me. Really brief interaction, but very nice to me. And I mentioned that he had a keyboard player with him who was blind, and I didn't know who it was. I just kind of said that in passing. The comment section just comes alive with people telling me, man, that's Johnny Neal. And I absolutely love that. I mean, I love that. So you guys tune in, and sometimes you learn some things from me. And then other times I learn some things from you. Quite often I learn things from you guys. And it's beautiful that there was a wave of people. It makes me think I'm doing a pretty good job of attracting the right kind of audience that knew this side man, this great key player. And like I said, he lived in Nashville and his health isn't so great these days. But it was really, really nice and cool that you guys jumped in and mentioned that. I wanted to say that. And sometimes we all go down the rabbit hole together. And I learned something. I should have known that. I don't know if Warren Haynes was with him then or not. I wouldn't have known who he was at the time, I don't think. And it kind of bums me out to not know whether he was with him. But all of this came up because I was reading this book, Brothers and Sisters, the Allman Brothers Band, and the inside story of the album that defined the 70s by Alan Paul. Alan Paul sent me this book, and it was really good. I actually listened to the Audible thing while I was driving, the Audible version, and I forgot to mention that I'll read this from inside the liner notes here. It says, with exclusive access to hundreds of hours of never-before-heard interviews with every major player, including Dickey Betts and Greg Allman, conducted by Allman Brothers Band archivist, photographer, and tour mystic, in quotes, Kirk West. Brothers and Sisters is an honest assessment of the band's career, history, and highs and lows. So this Kirk West had come up with all of these hours and hours and hours of interviews with the people at the heart of the Allman Brothers. They sat, nobody did anything with it. I forget how long it's been, maybe 30 years. I don't remember the amount of time. And Alan Paul got permission to put all of that together. And it appears Dickey was rather generous with his time. And I thought Alan Paul was rather fair to Dickey, where it included a lot of stories of him behaving not so great and some stories of him rising above. And one of those, I mentioned in the other video that Dickey Betts has a reputation for being difficult. And we earn our reputations, be they good or bad. I do believe that. So when I said that, and I said, but he was nice to me that night, and we had a very brief interaction, that's all. It wasn't anything a big deal. But I said that. So a lot of the comments, there's a lot of really interesting comments left there from people who had personal interactions with him. And there were a lot of them that were really, really positive. I mean, going out of his way to be cool to somebody, mostly because they're fans or whatever, but going out of his way. And then there was other instances of people witnessing him just being at his worst. And their comments on the internet, so who knows? Some of them were made by longtime commenters on the channel here So I kind of feel like they've built up their reputation where I've kind of believed them a little more than random folks. But I was thinking about reading some of those, and then I thought that's probably not the most. That's just not. I felt good about reading the nice stuff, and I didn't feel good about reading the bad stuff. Because I don't know. You can go back and read that stuff for yourself, but I have this feeling. I don't know. Before I get into that, in the book, Dickey bets when Dwayne dies, they're kind of rudderless, and it appears they may not be able to go on. But Dickey bets kind of takes the steering wheel, and he's like, "No, we're gonna do it." So they are out on the road. I think they were contractually obligated to go out on the road and promote the album that was just released. And Dickey had to learn Dwayne's parts, which is not easy. So you're in this two lead guitar band, and now you have to do even more heavy lifting, and you're trying to be a leader and all the ugly things that go with being a leader. A lot of good things. I guess it depends on how you choose to lead. And but he kept it going, and he pulled up. His job became more difficult, more complex, and all that. And I also think of alcohol, being involved in all that. I think the whiskey or whatever will bring out the worst in just about everybody. But a wise person once told me there's a fool that lives at the bottom of that bottle. And if you drink too much of it, that fool, jump down your throat and it'll become you. Somebody told me that at a young age. But some people like the fool, so that's all right. Whatever you're into. But if you think of Dickey Betts in that time, all of his heroes, all the blues greats, all these people that he grew up idolizing, they were all screwed over by labels, by management, by promoters, by agents. They were all screwed over at every turn. So it takes a certain kind of person. He knows what the industry is, and he's having to navigate that to save this band, to keep this whole thing going. It's probably a ridiculous amount of pressure. It probably makes you become a certain part of your personality will probably come out, that might not be the best parts. But I'm this believer. This is really complex, man. I'm just a guy that talks about music. And these are the things that I would talk about if I'm hanging out with my friends. And there's nuances to all of it. So much nuances. And when you're hanging out with four buddies and you're all talking, you're kind of forgiven, areas where I might be showing my ignorance, or my own naivety or whatever. But sometimes wisdom shines through in that. I'm hoping that I can talk like this now, and I'll communicate properly what I'm trying to. I believe that a person's best qualities, the things that we really like and we see as positive, are oftentimes linked to their worst qualities, and you can't get rid of one without losing the other. Me personally, some of my best qualities is I'm extremely mellow. I'm a peacemaker. I don't like drama. I don't have any time for other people's bullshit. I want to do my thing, and I don't want to affect other people. I don't want my actions to affect other people in a negative way. It's important to me. Those are good qualities, but they're connected to the fact that I'm mellow and just want to live and let live or go on. That makes me not that ambitious. I don't want to put up with other people's bullshit. You want to jump into this stream of this dirty stream of the music business. It's like, I can stand on the bank and make a living and do my thing. I don't have to get out there in the middle of all that crap. It makes sense to me, but those are bad qualities to some people, that lack of ambition. And so it's all connected one way or the other. And I'm grossly oversimplifying this, grossly. But I think of like Bobby Knight just died here recently. And for a kid growing up in Indiana, he was a huge figure, a huge figure. There's so many great qualities to him. The general, the tough guy that's gonna like get the most out of you and all of that. And then there's all these bad qualities that as I aged, I saw, that you don't see so much at a younger age, but they're directly connected, you know. And I had friends of mine. I've had friends of mine who were in the military talk about basic training. I remember one telling me about how they were sent out somewhere and they had to spend the night without like any warm clothes or whatever. And it was really cold. And they spent the night and ended up grown men all kind of like pressed up against each other trying to keep warm. And he said he honestly thought he might die that night. But the morning came and he got through it. And it taught him that he was able to withstand a lot more than he thought he could. So maybe they don't put people through that anymore, and that might be good or whatever, but I like those stories coming out of the people in the military where military is like a really easy example of this, where you're forced to do things that you did not believe you could. We'll say positive things. If you're forced to do bad things, I don't want to celebrate that at all. But there's maybe if you're a kid and you're a long distance runner, you go out for track or something like that, and you just don't think you can do it. But you run it, and one day you're like, oh, wow, I could run that distance in that amount of time. And then over the course of 2 weeks, you see that time improving and you realize you can do more. Those are good things to learn in life. And I'm getting so off track from from the Allman Brothers. Maybe there's those moments when he's being a drill sergeant, Dickey Betts, and maybe he didn't even see all of this. It wasn't planned ahead. It was just kind of what was happening. But he got them through that. And it's probably, I kind of admire that. I don't admire anybody yelling for no reason, punching. There's no point in that. I don't think so in life. I wouldn't deal with it. I wouldn't put up with it. But all of those guys got to go on to live in big houses, because they could keep the Allman Brothers band together and make so much great music. So much great music, and all of us got that. So I don't feel too comfortable even publishing this because I feel like I don't know why. I just don't feel real comfortable publishing this, but I think I'm going to and share this. And I'd love to hear what you guys think about it. I'm not saying I am even on mark here. These are just thoughts that I have and feelings that I have. And I also remember when I was a little kid, I was going through that thing where I thought Native Americans were super cool, which I still do. And I read, I think, Black Elk Speaks and some things like that. And so I started just searching out anything like that I could, wanted to learn about Native Americans. And there's some kind of a Cherokee legend about an older Cherokee who was talking to a very young Cherokee kid. The old man was saying that within him lives two wolves, and they're fighting each other ferociously to the death. Horrible fight. Every single day of his life, this fight has been going on between these two wolves. And he said one of the wolves is resentful, hurtful, hateful, is a bully, just has all these terrible qualities about it. And the other wolf is full of love and compassion and forgiveness. And these two are fighting, and they're going to fight to the death. And they've been fighting his entire life on a daily basis. And the kid says, which one wins? And the old Cherokee chief or whoever says, the one that wins is the one that you choose to feed. And that stuck with me as a kid. You know, there's those, I don't know, it stuck with me. And thinking about some of the musicians that we talk about here on the channel, some of the ones that had some problems dealing with certain things in their life, that pops into my head. Maybe that's been repeated 1,000 times. I don't know. But the last thing I want to share with you guys, this is a little bit off subject here, but I want to give you guys a sneak peek. I want to tell you a secret about what happens behind the scenes with YouTubers and such. If you see people posting like affiliate links or whatever to things, like I post a link to this book a couple different times. I'll post one in the top comment down below in this video. The reason I'm doing that, one, I would like to make it easier for people to buy this book because I want people to read. That's all cool. But if it's an affiliate link, I'll get a tiny little chunk of the sale. It's like if you spend $100, I get $2. And what happens is, and if you find this book in your local, I mean, I'm being completely serious about this. If you find this book in your local bookstore, if you're lucky enough to still have a mom and pop bookstore in your neighborhood, buy it from them. The hell with Amazon or anybody else. Buy it from your local person right down the street. That's way better for everybody, including me. But if you go there, what happens is Amazon puts a cookie on your computer, and anything that you buy within 24 hours from that, after clicking that link, whoever's link it was that you clicked, they'll get a tiny cut of whatever you bought. So when you see really big YouTubers putting those links out there, they're probably making really good money off of it. I put it out there because I wanted to, I'm trying to raise enough money for cat food each month. That's my goal. I've been doing this for 3 months. I've made $145 by people clicking those links and then buying stuff. $145. And that's been paying for my cat food. I just thought I'm going to do that till the end of the year and see what happens. But so what happens is people go and buy something else, the next day or whatever. And I get this record. I don't know who bought anything. I don't know who clicked it. I don't get anything like that. But I get to see what people bought. And a lot of people bought this book. A lot of people bought the Bob Dylan book, the Waylon book, a lot of stuff like that. But I also see the other things that they bought. And man, people buy some strange things. And I thought I would share a few of them. Someone bought 100 live crickets off of, and they've done it twice, off of, I don't know, one of you bought crickets after clicking these links, and I thought it was pretty funny. Lots of people buying coffee, pepper grinder. There's a Merle Haggard book. Let's see. There's a Philosophy of Modern Song, which was the Dylan thing. Rayovac batteries, a garlic paste, a Milton tire pressure gauge. Now that's the person you want in charge of things. Somebody who's actually buying a tire pressure gauge for the car. And fireplace and stove sealant. Hot cinnamon spice tea, 50 bags. Someone bought 24 cans of Red Bull. And man, if I go to a bar, I'll drink Red Bull like twice a month. And the very first Red Bull I ever had, this is a long story I won't tell. I'll save it for some other time. I drank in Philadelphia, had a really bad night in Philadelphia. It's the first time I ever tried one. And I was just like, why do people like this? But it woke me up. And I refer to Red Bull as licking the dog's ass. I've never licked a dog's ass, but if I did, I think it would taste like Red Bull. And I think it'd wake me up. So there's my Red Bull commercial for you guys. mood and joint support, um, luxury scented shave soap. That sounds kind of fun. And somebody bought Toto's, the Best of Toto. It's the Africa, I think is the name of it. It's a greatest hits album by Toto. This reminds me, my buddy Andy Reese, who's a great guitar player, session player, the Time Jumpers, Mandy Barnett. He has a band that plays, I don't remember when it is, sometime during the week over at a German restaurant in Opry Mills. And it's not on the side of the highway, it's on the back side. I went and saw that once last year. And it's all instrumental polka band. They have 3 accordions. There's a bunch of members. And they did a cover of Africa and Rosanna that were phenomenal. I mean, phenomenal. Imagine session players who were just really great playing polka music and doing some version of Africa with, 3 accordions. It's just really, really, really great. Rosanna. And I want to go over there and film them playing that. Just do something and throw it up on the internet because I think it's the sort of thing that would go viral. I think that would be a huge thing, and that would probably be a big help to their band. World's greatest cover of Rosanna by a polka band or something like that. And I couldn't make money off of it, because Toto would claim it, rightfully so. That's the way that should be. But I would upload it and share that, and I think a lot of people would dig it. But that's Andy Reese. I forget the name of his polka band. I saw it last year and it was great. I keep meaning to go check it out again in Nashville. Did I say Nashville? Anyway, but that's why you see people put out those links so they can make the big $145 and pay the cat food and dog food each month. I'm hoping one day I'll make a little bit more than that and be able to cover the vet bills or whatever. But if not, that's fine. And as I've always said, you heard Jimbo Mathis telling the story about Jim Dickinson talking about the different buckets you have set out. I've always said that and never said buckets. But as a musician, to try to make a living, you just have all of these little bitty sources that you make a little bit of money on a regular basis from. And all of these, if you get enough of these spread out, they all add up to something and called a living. And it takes a long time to come up with these little buckets, But I've been fortunate enough where I have a lot of buckets sitting out. This is my YouTube bucket. And so if you want to help feed the cats, go click this link to pick up a copy of that book for somebody who might like it or some other book, or just click the link and go Christmas shopping, and my cats will eat for the next couple of months. Anyway, I'm going to get off here, and I hope things are good with you guys, and I hope Thanksgiving was good to you and you're enjoying the holidays, and I'll see you down the road. Much love to you.